Make no mistake, the devastation and flooding we're experiencing across Vermont is historic and catastrophic.
Extreme flooding. The governor of Vermont has announced a state of emergency. The Appalachian Trail Conservancy has directed all hikers to get off trail and hold tight until we get better directions. Apparently it's quite dangerous out there. So we've been in the town of Manchester Center at a hostel for 2 nights. And we have a 3rd night at a hotel because we're just waiting it out and hopefully get safe on the trail. Taking advantage of it as best as we can. We've had some good meals. We went to see a movie.
We're taking another zero directive of the Appalachian Trail Conservancy. They say to get off trail, so we're heading to Bennington to watch the new Indiana Jones movie. There's 3 of us, Soundbite, myself, and Seinfeld. The roughing it on the Appalachian Trail.
So my hiking shoes are dead, and they're going in the hiking graveyard with all its friends. Goodbye.
So my shoes, the Ultra Olympus, died. So I had to replace them with a pair of Hoka Speed Goats, and they seem good. I'm looking forward to trying them out. But unfortunately, my gaiters, the Dirty Girl gaiters, no longer are compatible with the Hokas, so I had to replace them too.
The Appalachian Trail Conservancy is still telling all hikers to stay off trail until further notice. So a lot of hikers are making some tough decisions. Some have left the trail totally. Some have chosen to go into the backwoods despite the directive and hoping for the best. They've also given an option of an alternative route if you can. So that's what I've chosen to do this morning. I can't wait around anymore. It's been 3 nights here. So I'm road walking for maybe 30 miles. It's going to be tough on the feet, but hopefully in a day or 2 it'll dry up enough and the Appalachian Trail Conservancy will give us the A-OK to get back into the woods. So that's my choice. Wish me luck.
Road walk is unique. I'm getting good miles in, but boy, it's beating me up. The sun, the heat, the feet, the asphalt is unforgiving. Anyway, I've got about a half day in, perhaps the toughest half day I've had on the Appalachian Trail.
Yesterday was a crazy day. 31-mile road walk on Highway 7 between Manchester and Rutland. Beat up my feet and my legs. But when I got to Rutland, I stayed at the Yellow Deli shelter. It was delightful. The people were very kind there and had a good meal and hung out with some other hikers. Now, the hikers I met had already done the wet parts of the trail just post-flood, so they had some of the nastiest stories to share. They also were able to share that the water dissipated on the high parts of the Appalachian Range. So I'm happy to hear that. So I went ahead and took some risks. I'm back on trail. I'm hiking Mount Killington right now, and the trail is the driest it's been in 2 weeks. I don't know if it's just different areas or whatever, but I'm rather enjoying it. So maybe the trail will be good from this point forward. Highly doubt it, but we'll see.
That shelter is an old shelter. It's a mess. And if you look over there, that goes to the peak to see more views. I can tell you, on the Appalachian Trail, one view looks just like the next. What I'm actually more concerned about is the weather front coming in, rain. So I'm going to try to get off this mountain and skip the view.
What a beautiful morning. Not so much last night. Late in the day, I rolled into Gifford Woods State Park, all expecting to head to the office and pay for a tent spot for the night. And they were all closed. So I talked to some of the locals. They said the park's almost empty. Just grab yourself a shelter. So they had all these open-faced lean-tos, or like the typical Appalachian Trail shelter. Grabbed one, and after I settled in, the skies opened up with a major thunderstorm. So the trails are wet again. But I had a good sleep last night, nice and dry, with the protection of a shelter. Thank you, Gifford Woods State Park.
It's perhaps hard to see it, but that's where I was yesterday at around lunch. That's the top of Killington. It seems so far away. Holy jumping. We have a ladder. Thank you, trail crew, for adding the ladder to the trail. I had to carry it in, and that would have been very nasty without it. Thank you.
Last night I stayed at the Winchuri shelter and it rained most of the night, but the next morning was absolutely beautiful. I shared the morning with TD and Wildberry.
So after the flood, several bridges got damaged, and this one is one of them. We're directed, or shall we say advised, not to cross it. But that's pretty much the only choice we got. So here we go. There's some of the flood carnage. Nasty. Jeez. So the water would have been this high, all the way up to the top. That is crazy. So that's the river, and that's the bridge. So the water would have been at least that high all the way around. And there's the steps washed out totally. Crazy. I've got 3 packages coming to Norwich, Vermont. With my current pace, I'll be there on Sunday. They're not open on Sunday, so I had to slow down my pace. I found this great little hostel. It's called Wise Pines. And so I've stopped here for a Nero to slow down my pace, enjoy the moment, and it's a bit of a blessing. So I'm able to watch a movie this afternoon, enjoy a nice afternoon meal, and then tomorrow I'm back on track. And if everything goes well, I'll be in Norwich on Monday.
Hi, I am Wildberry from Manistee, Michigan, and host of the channel Backpacking Bible on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Gonzo. I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Hi, I'm TD from a little town in North Carolina, Madison, and doing a flip hike and enjoying the day.
I just looked up in the sky and I saw this big bright light in the sky. I don't know what it is. Well, I think I know what it is, but I haven't seen it for about a month. Vermont has been a wet, dark and dreary place with all the rain, the flooding, the overcast. Well, right now I'm in my last few miles before I get into New Hampshire, and the sun has finally emerged. Very nice. With today possibly being the first dry day in Vermont, and with the sun shining, and I've noticed some things. I've noticed the mushrooms. They may have come out because of all the moisture, who knows, but they are quite beautiful. And it's the first time I've noticed them. All different shapes and sizes and different colors. They're like the fungi flowers of the forest beds of Vermont. I'm walking in the main drag of Norwich. What a beautiful town. All these old homes that have been renovated to the max. It's quite beautiful. But I'm here to visit the post office to pick up some packages, and there it is there. But before I do that, because it's not open, I'm going to a coffee shop just down the road to enjoy the moment and the last few minutes in Vermont. I'm at Danowitz. It's on the main road. Got myself a coffee and a steak egg sandwich. So I'm at the post office in Norwich, and Sherry's helping me out. Picked up a new pair of shoes, mailing my old ones home, got some food. Life's good, hopefully, in New Hampshire coming up. Bye-bye, Vermont. Hello, New Hampshire. Hanover is quite a nice town. Got myself a haircut, got some food, even got some supper to take out with me on the trail. I also met Soundbite. So I'm hiking with Soundbite right now. Life is good. Well, it hasn't been an easy afternoon. Coming out of Hanover, I had to climb over Moose Mountain, which is quite a big climb. And just on the other side of it is the Moose Mountain Shelter, which I should be getting to in about 10 minutes or so. And that'll be my day. About a 16, 17 mile day. But I got a haircut, resupply, and new shoes.
Good morning. It rained all last night. Good news is I got into my tent before it rained, but my body is tired, but I have 400 miles to go, so I must get up. Get up.
I've misplaced my bucket hat. It's somewhere in my kit back there, probably in the bottom of my backpack. A little hectic last night. It started to rain when I pitched camp, and I know it was with me when I went into the tent last night, so it's back there somewhere. But it's a moist air. It's damp out here. Trails are a little damp. But the good news is we expect nothing but sun for the next 3 days in New Hampshire. Bring it on. I have to tell you, I'm tired. The hills are bigger and taller and steeper. And this is just the beginning of New Hampshire. And I suspected maybe I left it at the last camp. So, when I discovered this at around 8 o'clock, I had Pinkie's phone number. She's another hiker who was camping there. And I texted her and said, "Can you check for my bucket hat?" And she texted back right away and said, "Found it. And I'm bringing it to you to the next campsite." Wow. Thank you, Pinkie. And thank you, modern technology, helping us navigate through that. I'm at the Hectacuba shelter, and I got my hat back, thanks to Pinkie. Today's going to be a great day. First of all, clear sky, no rain in the forecast. I've got clean socks on. I'm heading towards a hostel, and if all luck comes out, I'll have trail magic today with my friend Tim. I'm in the lowlands of New Hampshire. I'm off the high peaks, and hopefully I'll be in the high peaks soon because it's mucky down here. The feet are getting wet. Dancing around between the rocks and the mud makes it challenging, but there is good news in sight. The high peaks are coming. I'm kind of excited. About 2 miles down the trail, there's a road intersection, and I'm hoping to meet my friend Tim Hodgeboom, who's a New Hampshire resident and also an alum from the Appalachian Trail from about 30 years ago. And he actually documented his trip on film, and I'm not talking digital, on film. And it's on YouTube. I'll show the links in the description because it is awesome. Worth everybody watching who's ever been on the Appalachian Trail. Anyhow, cross my fingers. Hopefully they'll be waiting for me at the next road crossing.
Okay, this is the roadway. Is my friend Tim here? I've heard rumors. Could that be it over there? What am I getting here?
You're getting chicken chili, sourdough bread that Elizabeth baked, and a little packet of Tabasco.
All right, bring it on. Thank you.
I did eventually find Tim and Elizabeth. They were nestled in the forest on the other side of the road. Quiet, peaceful, and very generous.
Thank you so much for the trail magic. And your names?
Tim Hogaboom, otherwise known as the Hog.
And I'm Elizabeth McCarthy, his wife.
Thank you very much, folks. Very much appreciated.
Oh, you're welcome.
Great to have you here.
Hi, I'm Soundbite. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Happy to be hiking with my buddy Dudley.
Hi, I'm Hog. I'm from Walden, Vermont, and I hiked the trail in 1984. This is the hat I wore 39 years ago, which had been burnt by the side of a fire, and I'm still wearing it.
Hi, I'm Bagel from New Jersey.
The Hiker's Welcome Hostel had its charms, but one of the most enjoyable things was listening to Slim play his guitar.
Today was a slack pack day. Rather liked it. Now, for those people not in the know, the hostel that we were staying at, the Hiker Welcome Hostel, provided a service. So they shuttled us somewhere north of the hostel, dropped us off, and we hiked southbound with almost an empty backpack all the way back to the hostel. And that's one way of doing it, get your miles in, and it's a little easier on the sole and the feet. So Moosilauke, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is the first big mountain we climb in the Whites. It's around 3,000 vertical feet. It's over 4,000 feet. Slack packing it. Got TD, Wildberry, and Pinkie with me. Okay, we are now leaving the trees. We are now above the tree line. There's been an update. This peak is about 4,600 feet, so well above tree line, and it's been a challenging morning. Moosilauke is not easy, but it is beautiful. Starts out the hike following a nice river with some waterfalls. Then the trail crew bolted in some steps into the rock faces, making it possible to hike. And eventually the ecosystems change, the vegetation changes to small scrub, and now we're in high alpine, well above tree line. It is beautiful. Totally beautiful. Another rainy day, lots and lots of rain. So when I got to the peak, Moosilauke Peak, there was just rain, cold, and wet. Also, it continued to rain the rest of the day. So there's not a lot of footage taken from my phone today, unfortunately. But you get to look forward to it as we get further on north into the Whites.